Welcome back. Going into hour 2 here of Court of Swords, week 39. Adam, we walk out of the shop.
Jiva, are you still
right.
there? Did you wait for them, or did you get bored and wander off?
Are there any like street vendors?
Yeah, there's tons. Yeah, lots. Yeah, selling food, various sundries that a student might need. But yeah, mostly that's what they're here to cater to, like the scholars and students and clerks of this neighborhood.
Cool. I walked up to one of the vendors that's selling food nearby, probably still within like eyesight of the thing, so I could see when they came out of the store.
Okay, cool. Yeah, there's a dude selling falafel out of a cart. So I guess how far away is it? Like, can they see you when they come out of the store?
If there's a crowd, then probably not.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah. Okay. All right. So Enoch, you, Berg, and Ramus come out, and you don't see Jiva anywhere. You just see like the crowd of students.
I look around and, well, this is gonna suck. Ziva! I just kind of like start shouting. There.
So
hello.
So have you struck up a conversation with the food vendor?
Yeah, I was trying to get information out of him, but I also wanted falafel.
Mm-hmm. It's really good falafel too. You're not here during a really busy time. So he does have like a little bit of time, and so while he's kind of like just like working the stall, let's see if he's willing to like have a conversation with you and just like hang out, because you might be able to get some information out of him. Roll a persuade check for me. Nice, you're very persuasive. Yeah. So you and this dude, his name is let's see, let's come up with a good name for this guy. His name is Doruk.
I like that name.
Doruk. He is a falafel vendor. He comes from a long line of falafel vendors. His uncle owned the stand before him, and his uncle's father, and so on and so forth.
Very prestigious.
He has 3 children, and he likes you because you remind him of his daughter. And he is happy to tell you of his life in the city of Brass. He lives far away from here. He lives in another much poorer neighborhood, but he has worked out this corner. He pays the city guard to make sure that he's the only one that can work this corner, and so he has this little stand that he trucks up here from the lower district. And so the two of you have struck up a conversation. So he's just finished telling you some adorable story about how his daughter got in trouble at school for throwing a rock at some boy, and and then the two of you are kind of like we fade in on you like laughing at the punchline of that story.
So I love hearing about your family, but I'm kind of here with some friends of mine, and we are in this district looking for information, specifically about magic and the House of the Falcon, which I know has been here for a very long time. Do you know where we could find any information about that?
He scratches his stubbly chin with a rough hand and says, looking for information on magic. Well, you're in the right place. They say if it cannot be found in the city of Brass, it cannot be found anywhere. And this neighborhood is a neighborhood that knows much, or thinks that it does. As for the House of the Falcon, I have heard of them. Nobles, I think. You think the two are connected?
Perhaps.
Well, if you're looking for magic, and he grins and kind of conspiratorially like leans in, and he smells, as he gets close to you, you can smell above the smell of the falafel, because he always smells like falafel, but you can smell like the smell of cherry scented like tobacco on his shirt. And he leans in and he says, I will tell you this. And he looks around and he's like, there is a wizard who lives in this district. And he looks, and if you follow his vision, you can see kind of through the haze, like it's far enough away that the summer rain is causing some sort of fogginess. But you can see a strange looking, like it takes a second for your eyes to adjust, a strange looking building. It's a thin kind of tower structure. And then the top appears to be some kind of collection of like metal rings that are like moving around each other very slowly. and he says, "Her name is Inanna. I have not glimpsed her face myself, but have seen her moving through the crowd. She wears a black veil. They say she's the most beautiful creature in all the land." And he like sighs kind of wistfully, and he says, "If I were not such a loyal married man, but what use does a wizard have for a mere falafel vendor like myself?"
Oh, Daruk, these falafels are magical. And I like take a big bite.
He laughs and he says, "You are kind, Frenzy. If you cannot be handsome, at least be useful. I make falafel. It is my art. We all have our talents. But if you are looking for magic, Inanna's tower is where I would go. But beware you don't get..." And he makes a little like gesture with his fingers that you have to assume means like bewitched.
Yeah. Okay. And then can I hear Enoch like calling for me?
Yeah.
Okay. So I eat the rest of the falafel and like with my mouth kind of full, I kind of gather my things and I'm like, "Thanks, Daruk. Like I'll see you soon, hopefully." Like kind of like back away into the crowd and start running back to the ink shop. Yeah. So he waves to you and you head off. He's one of the few humans who had an entire conversation with you without asking why you're like so small or short or like what species you are. He just didn't even mention it.
He's a good guy.
You push your way through the crowd and you can see Enoch and Ramus and Berg pushing their way through the crowd. Cool.
I just like run up to them and I'm like, "So how'd it go?"
Hey,
Terrible.
I'm glad we found you. We were worried. What?
He was worried.
You were worried too, Ramus. Don't.
Okay, I was worried a little bit.
He was worried a little bit. What?
She can handle herself.
What is that? And I'm looking past Ziva to see if I can try to figure out where she got this thing in her hand.
Falafel, and I like hold it up.
Oh. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan. They used to feed that to me as a kid. I'm not. That's all yours. Hey, we didn't
Berg,
find
leans forward like.
We
They don't think it smells delicious, so I just like shove the whole thing in my mouth.
Chickpeas are delicious.
well, maybe so. Not a fan. Hey, we didn't find the information. We're gonna go to another shop. So.
I made a friend, Daruk, the falafel vendor.
Okay.
He told me that there is a wizard, and I like look around a little bit, living in the tower, and I point in the direction that Daruk was looking.
Do we see a tower?
You can see some kind of structure through the haze, yeah.
Well, do we need a wizard? I mean,
Wouldn't the wizard know about wolves that have human eyes?
Couldn't hurt.
yeah.
She's very beautiful.
Well, are we off to see the wizard?
Yeah, I guess
Why
so.
did you say that like that?
I don't know. It felt like a song. I don't know. I don't know why.
Came over me.
All right, yeah,
Suddenly,
I guess we follow
thinking-
this yellow road here.
To be fair, Berg
talks
does,
too slow.
To be fair,
I was
Berg
gonna
does
say, I'm
need,
thinking of the
Berg
color
does
yellow.
need a brain. Berg needs a brain, and Ramus needs a heart. And Enoch would look great in a pair of ruby slippers. So
That's true.
I guess that makes you Toto, Anne.
Well,
Sweet.
maybe so. All right, yeah, let's go pay a visit to the wizard, I assume.
Okay. All right, so you want to head to you want to head in that direction?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we changed scenes from the kind of crowded the crowded area that you're in now to deeper in the district. It takes a little while to walk there. And this tower, it has a fence around it. It has like this wrought iron fence that surrounds it, and it's got a stone garden inside, and it's like very well kept. There's a bunch of statuary, strange-looking statuary inside. There's a grass lawn, and then the tower itself is a grayish stone structure, kind of like the trunk of a tree that extends up. And then at the top, you can hear, standing down here, you can hear the sound of metal on metal as these metal rings slowly slide against one another. It seems to be some kind of like enormous clock or something. And so there's this faint hissing sound as the metal rings kind of glide. One of them spinning at a faster rate, the rest spinning more slowly in a complicated kind of sphere. And you can hear them kind of like grinding up above you. The gates are open that lead up to the door. There's a long stone pathway that leads there, but there's no one inside. And the area around the fence, around this wrought iron fence, is pretty clear. People seem to be not like hanging around. You're in a bit of a plaza. The whole thing is maybe like 15 or 20 stories, and you could. From the roofs nearby, you could get a better look at the rings, but from down here, they're still kind of hazy through the weather.
Well, Ziva, why don't you take the lead on this, since you seem to do so well with the falafel vendor?
So I just like run ahead. And
Slowly, please. We shouldn't be hasteful.
Word of advice: do not piss off a wizard.
Yes.
Trust me.
That's why I will not be talking.
And like as I'm jogging away from them toward the door, I like look over my shoulder and I'm just like, I'm very personable, and I keep running.
Okay. So you step over the threshold separating the street from the garden, from the yard. Can you make a wisdom saving throw for me, please?
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Hey, crit.
Nice. Okay. I'll let you interpret what Jiva thinks this feeling is or where it comes from, but you feel a sudden sense of anxiety, of nerves. Like all of a sudden you feel like it's like stage fright almost. And now the tower seems much taller than it was before, and the door much farther from the entrance to the garden. And yeah, everything takes on a kind of like you feel your heart like pounding against your ribs. But Jiva doesn't. I mean, it just like sort of happens suddenly, and you can interpret why you feel like that. But.
Okay. So I like stop running, and I turn around and look at them. And before they cross the threshold, I just like put my hands out and I'm just like, stop! Something's wrong.
Is the falafel coming back up? Do we need to step back? What's happening?
There's a bathroom back there.
Not the falafel. There's something wrong with the tower. And I like look at the ground and I kind of look around at where I'm standing. But so I don't know what it's doing. I just know that I have like this feeling of anxiety.
Yeah, I think that you look around and to the left and right of you there are flower beds, and when you turn to look at one, it seems that all of the flowers, they're little like the blossoms like turn slightly as if to like regard you as you look at them.
Okay. Did you guys see the flowers move?
Yeah.
We
saw
should
them
never
move.
eat street food again. This
What did you eat?
is what happens.
Are there like any? Is there like a knocker or a doorbell on the outside of the gate that to like let her know?
No. The gate is open, and seems like it's been open a long time. Like it's opened. It opens out, and you can see that like the gate has some kind of like shape where if it was closed, you could see the two pieces of it go together. There might be a monogram or a design or something, but there's no bell or like ringer. Like it's almost like inviting guests, right? The door is wide open, like you could just come in.
The place could be protected by magical wards.
I'm just like kind of turning in circles, like looking at all the flowers.
So when you turn around, and this is like we would get this shot over your shoulder where you turn, and you definitely, he wasn't there before, but now there's someone standing on the path between you and the door. He's wearing a long gray robe, like a silk robe. He's got some kind of sash that's like knotted in a complicated way under his arm. He has a shaved head, kind of like pale, like grayish skin, but you can't see his face because he's wearing a plain looking like ivory colored mask. It's either highly polished wood or like actually ivory, and you can't see a strap. It seems to just be like kind of holding on to the front of his face. It's featureless. It's just like a flat surface. And he's just standing there with his arms kind of in his sleeves. Berg, Ramus, and Enoch, you cannot see him.
Okay, so I turn around, I look at him and I turn around and I say, Do you guys see the man at the steps without a face?
All right, Zeev, let's go. This is not gonna.
Yeah, we need to get you some medical help. Something's not right.
Well,
There's a man, and I turn back and I point at the guy standing there. And it's like, there's a man without a face on the steps.
And there's a halfling without a mind right in front of him.
The man, the masked figure, speaks to you. He says in halfling, at least you hear halfling. He says, "This way, please." And he turns and gestures. And you can see he's got like his hand emerges from his robe, and he's just got like pale manicured hands. And he's wearing several silver rings on his fingers. And he just gestures like gently towards the door, like, "This way, please."
Okay. I'm going in the tower. And I start walking like toward.
Oh God! Stop! And I run past the threshold to get to you.
Okay. Can you also make that save, please, Ramus?
Right. 16.
Okay. Yeah. So same thing. You feel that sense of like, ugh, like something is wrong. It's a bit of like a kind of vertigo feeling. And then you blink a couple of times, and then you can see this person in front of you.
There actually is a man there. I see him too now. Something is not right.
He tilts his head down towards you, Ziva, and he says, "Now, Ramus, you hear this in common, but you, Ziva, you hear it in halfling." He says, "Will your friends be joining you?" And then turns his head towards Berg and Enoch.
I think they're afraid.
We're not afraid. It's just you guys have come over, been.
Just come on in, guys. I think it's fine. Something weird's going on, but
we still can't see who she's talking to, right?
No, yeah, they appear to be speaking to someone you can't see. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll I turn Berg. I'll go first, and then you can follow. Okay.
fine.
I turn around, close my eyes, and like take one long step forward.
Okay, sure. Saving
Here's
throw,
your
please.
Wisdom saving throw, 17.
Nice, y'all are acing these. Yeah, same thing. You feel vaguely uneasy, but then you feel okay. And then you see this ethereal doorman.
How does he like? If he's not there before and he's there afterwards, what is it like a poof of magic that has?
No,
him up here,
it's just like it's like a blink. It's like he was there all along, but you didn't notice him. It's like
Okay.
seeing something. You're like, oh, hey, okay.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
have to make a wisdom save. Is that what it is?
Yeah, if you step over the threshold.
Okay. Fuck.
Yeah, I turn and say, Berg, it just seems like a wizard's ward. Go ahead and come through, I guess.
Oh dear.
Stop laughing at me, Ann. He's not a smart man, okay? He's not, nor is he wise.
Oh boy. Okay.
I mean, it's not a critical failure. It's just you rolled a 3.
Yeah, it's still just a fail. Okay, that's cool.
Is it though? Is it actually cool?
Has Berg? I'm gonna ask you a question that I'm sure you have no answer for, but I'll get you to make up one. Has Berg ever eaten a pomegranate before?
Yes.
Okay. What? Give me that that memory. Is this just like a fruit he's eaten lots of times, or is there a specific like that one time you were given one?
No. There was a pomegranate that he found it basically. It must have stumbled out of a cart or something like that. Wasn't supposed to be there. He just grabbed it from the dirt road and pocketed it, as they were walking, to the supply camp.
That's perfect. So you had to eat it in secret, right?
Yes,
no one will find out you
absolutely.
had it. Okay.
And he had no idea what the fuck he was eating. He was just like,
yeah. So it was delicious, and suddenly you step over the threshold, and instead of feeling nervous or weird or upset or any of that stuff, you feel your mouth fills with saliva, and you can taste as if it were you were in that moment years and years ago eating that pomegranate. And with it comes that feeling of both secret joy and kind of shame and having to hide it from other people. You feel very exposed, but like there's a sudden feeling of like powerful delight that you feel, and this happens to you as you step over the threshold.
So Berg's face probably goes from like to like just like what's gonna happen now?
Yeah.
All right. Also, yes, Berg did eat the seeds when he ate the pomegranate.
Okay. All right. So yeah, an emotion passes over Berg's face. I'm not sure if anyone really notices.
Well, after he steps over, I say, Berg, you all right?
Yes. I don't. Yes. Yes.
Okay, you see him, right?
Yeah,
I don't.
You do.
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
You see the doorman. He's there. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, let's try to stay together. No running ahead. Let's get out of here as a group. Sir, we wish to speak to the wizard of the tower.
Inara.
The servant, the guardian, nods and sort of glides away smoothly, walking under the shimmering gray robes. And you're led to the door, which by the time you get there has opened. And we see the two pale stone panels of the door kind of slide open to greet you. And the doorman stops and gestures for you to go inside.
All right, after you, Ziva.
I walk in.
Okay. All right. So you go into the to the base of the tower, and I guess none of you. I'm gonna just clarify. None of you have ever been in like the sanctum, the like seclusium of a wizard before, right? You know, in a place like this.
I've been on the outside of them. My father would never let me go inside.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
There are a
think,
few.
No,
There are a few.
not
The
quite
city
like
of-
this. Berg
The
has
City
ever
of
been.
Brass has, yeah, like there is a wizard's guild and there is a school of magic and all of that, and there's lots of established like high wizards and stuff in this city. But yeah, so you would have seen them. I think maybe Enoch, you're familiar with like there's like children's games with some of the towers to run up and put your hand on the tower as long as you can before you get scared and run off, and like whoever can do it for the longest, they're like the bravest kid.
Right. I was always the kid that said not to do that. Plus, I had Idris looking over me to
Totally,
say, "Don't
yeah.
do this."
Your servants would never let you. Yeah. I like that.
Idris isn't here anymore.
I know.
So
Sorry.
yeah, so you walk into the base of the tower, and it is it's a strange experience. So you walk in, and the door it swings shut behind you, and you're standing in a room that is both up and down and in all directions much larger than the outside of the base of the tower should have been. It's as if walking into a jungle. There's a sudden moisture and heat in the air. You can hear a bird song somewhere. There are plants growing all over everything. And you've walked out onto what appears to be a balcony with stairways that lead on either side up the sides onto the higher levels of this internal garden. And you swear you can hear like water running somewhere, like a river or a waterfall or something. And so you've stepped out into this little like conservatory. What do you do?
I step forward. Well, Father always said these were a little weird. Ziva, you know what to do here?
The like butler guy is still there, right?
No, he's gone. He was outside.
Just disappeared. Oh, okay.
Mhm. I mean, I think you turn around and the door isn't even there anymore.
Right.
Like there's just a wall with
Yeah.
some overgrown flower pots kind of like coming out on a shelf, and the flowers are just sort of like spilling out onto the wall.
You're here to stay.
No sign of any people or anything.
No, lots of the sound of like animals, right? Like you can hear, like I said, birds somewhere in the place, and tons of life. It's a verdant room, but no people that you can see.
I was under the impression there would be a wizard here.
Well, maybe you just gotta ask for him.
Yeah, try saying her name out loud or something.
Master Wizard, we wished an audience, please, if you would be so kind. Just speaking into the open.
Hello.
Yeah, you frighten a little flock of tiny bright green parrots that like burst off of a tree nearby and kind of fly up into the branches of another tree that's higher up. And your voice kind of like echoes out into the room, but no one responds. There are two long staircases that you could go up, or you can climb over. There's a ladder that actually descends down into the area below this kind of platform.
Do the two staircases go to the same place? It's like
Yeah. They arc up and then kind of like it's like a double helix that kind of climbs up the top of the tower, at least as far up as you can see. And then there's like a canopy of trees.
Well, if I was a wizard, I'd want to sit at the top of the world. So, after you, I point up one of the stairs.
cool. Yeah, I just start climbing the staircase.
Okay. All right. So you begin to ascend the stairs, which have a passable area in the middle that you can stand on. The edges of the stairs, though, are covered in vines, leaves. There seem to be plants blooming from everywhere that even a pile of dirt has fallen. And so it's almost like walking through like jungle ruins in a way, except that the building underneath is not coming apart. The stairs are well kept. So you begin to ascend the stairs, and you come to an area where it's the canopy of this layer, and as you pass through, you have to kind of push the leaves and branches aside, and then ascend up into on top of the next area. And when you get there, this area, there's a big stone platform in the middle, taking up most of this floor. The stairs continue up, but the trees below you have thinned out, and now above you, you can see like birds' nests coming off of little areas in the wall. Those birds that you frightened have collected in one of these. There's a lot more noise up here, and suddenly the air is much drier, and you swear there's a breeze. Like you can feel like your hair moving a little bit, and your cloak kind of moving a little. The platform in the middle of the room has some kind of stone, like a structure, like a little stone hut with open walls, so like columns and then a little stone thing. I think you see a figure in there, kind of moving around.
Hello?
And they start, like they stop moving. You can see that the figure is wearing just kind of plain, like a plain tunic. They have a little cap on the back of their head. It's hard to tell their gender or species from this distance, but you've startled them a little. Like they start and then kind of like move behind one of the pillars, not hiding, but they move away from out of your field of vision.
I like to use the brunt of my knee and kick Ziva forward into the room a little bit more.
I like kind of throw a scowl back at him, and then I'm just like, "Hi, I don't mean to surprise you. We were downstairs and there was no one there, and the man without the face let us in. We were hoping to talk to Inara, and I was told she lives here."
As you approach, I think that they turn, and you can see that it's a young man, human, fairly dark skin, light brown eyes. No beard, either because he's shaved it or is too young to have one, and is wearing just like scholar's robes. His hands are covered in dirt, and as you walk up, you can see that he's tending a little garden. Now this garden seems it's mostly turned earth, so you can't see he's planting something, and he has a bag around his over his shoulder with something like some kind of plant matter. You can see little like runners kind of hanging out of it, and he's holding a trowel in his like filthy hands. And he kind of blinks hard at you as you walk up, and he sees all of you, and puts the trowel down and gives you a deep bow, and he says, "We get guests so very rarely. Welcome."
Thank you. What's your name? I'm Ziva. I like to stick my hand out.
Yeah, he looks at you and looks at your hand, and puts a filthy hand to his face, and he gets dirt on his face and Doesn't seem to notice. And it's as if you've asked him like a difficult question. And he thinks for a moment and kind of says, I don't know. You'd think that would be the kind of thing I would remember.
Uh-oh.
So he like doesn't shake my hand, so I like put it down, and then I'm just like, okay, do you know where Inara is?
He says, it's Inanna. And no, I haven't seen her in some time. But this is her tower, so you're in the right place.
Here.
What did you say? I cut you off. I'm sorry.
I said, what do you do here?
He says, I'm a gardener, a botanist originally. I look after the plants. He gestures at the turned earth.
Fucking turned ass earth.
Yeah.
They're very beautiful. I like nod, and I turn around to look at Enoch, and I'm just like, okay, he doesn't know where Inanna is, and I'm a little scared.
Yeah, I immediately turn to Ramus and say, you're our guide out of here. I hope you understand that now.
Don't worry, I know my way out of places. I'm like a pigeon.
I sit there and ruminate on that for a second, and then in front of me, I just see Ramus turn slowly into a pigeon with a Ramus type look to it. I'm like, yes.
Follow me.
Yes, you are.
Do you know, where does she normally preside in this place? At the top?
He kind of like looks at you. The top of what, sir?
The tower, you doofus.
He smiles and he says, tower.
This place.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. Please attend to your gardening. They need some help. We'll be just fine on our own. Have a nice day.
Can I him, please?
I grab both of them and get out of the
kill
room.
Him.
Berg, do no such thing. Berg, get over here.
What is Berg still like affected by this? Was that a temporary thing, or is it like a thing that's still kind of?
It was just temporary. I think
kind of fades, right?
It fades. It was a very, very strong sensation that has since since faded.
I'm just trying to get an idea of where his head's at.
Yeah, so I like huddle everyone around and say, remember your name from this point on. Don't forget it. Don't forget who you are. I'm just like looking at every single person.
I'm Berg.
Good. Repeat that as many times as you need, Berg. We stepped into hell, unfortunately.
This is how Berg becomes a Groot character. He just no longer can.
Yeah.
Wizard towers are always trouble.
I knew we should not have come in here. I guess we're going down. Is there anywhere, I look up, is there anywhere else to go up? Or are we at the top?
the staircases continue to wind up the sides of the tower.
Yeah, we keep going up. We slip by the gardener to the best of our ability.
Okay.
I assume he's probably so focused on that.
Yeah, he doesn't notice you as you continue. You just like leave. Yeah. Okay. All right. So you climb up the stairs to the next level. This one has a stone like ceiling above it. So you go through a kind of like trap door above the stairs. You have to open it and push it open. And when you step out, this floor, they're all more or less the same size across, but this one seems longer and wider in all directions. And you step out onto a sort of grassy plain. There is grass planted on the ground here, though you can't see the stone below. The stairs continue to wind up the side, and in the center of this floor, there is a willow tree that is just growing up out of the ground. And next to it, there is a stream. You can see a stream of water that runs from one wall. It's coming out of like a pipe on the wall, and then runs across the floor, and then sort of drops down into the floor. And so this stream is just running alongside the willow tree, and the stairs continue up above. And I think that you see at the base of the tree from here, everybody sees something different.
Oh God.
Jiva, you see what's like a predatory animal from where you come from? What's like the like, it'd be like an equivalent of like a lion or something.
Yeah, well, wait, I don't even know. For halflings?
Yeah.
But I live here. I live in the city of Brass, right?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of predatory animals would we have?
I don't know. That's
In
up
like
to you.
inside the city.
Yeah, I mean, it could be like you could interpret that metaphorically too. Like it could be a kind of person, but it would be like the
man.
thing that you're. It would be like the thing that your parents would tell you to watch out for.
God, I don't know.
That's a big question.
Yeah, totally. And we can come back to you, but Ramus, you see nothing under the tree. You don't see anything there. Enoch, you see a woman, like a noble woman. She's wearing like an outfit that looks like she just came back from a hunt. So she has like tall riding boots. She has a blouse with like a scarf under both arms that hold it against her body so it doesn't get like tangled up. She would normally be wearing like a cap, but she's got it off right now, and she has long black hair kind of like flowing down, and she's brushing it. You can't see her face, but you see her from the back. Berg, you also see a woman. She's wearing gauzy, kind of like semi-transparent black, like dancers, like robes. She's covered in veils. Her hair is also like long and black, but she's not brushing it. It's tied up in a bun on top of her head, and she has a long black veil over her face. She is standing under the tree, staring directly at you, and even though you can't see her eyes, you can feel them on you. What animal? Do you know what animal you see, Ziva?
I'm gonna go with like a what are they called? Like a wyvern.
Cool.
Talon bird.
Yeah, totally. That's cool. Okay, so yeah, you see this scaly, winged, kind of like draconic creature, and it's in the same kind of shimmery black color as her hair, but you see its tail like wrapped around the tree, and it's kind of preening itself. Licking the edges of its wings. Yeah.
Those are halflings because we could just get picked up and carried away.
Yeah, totally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is a predator. Happens all the time.
Upon seeing this huntress, I put one hand into my pocket and grasped the perfume that we grabbed from like the first episode or so, because that's what it reminds me of. Is probably who I was saving that for. Mm-hmm. And then knowing that we're in a wizard's castle, do I believe this to be true? Is that something that I can like roll for? Because I'm not sure how the character would act in the situation. So what would it be a roll to make sure this would be true?
Would you have any reason to believe that it isn't?
We're in a wizard's tower.
Okay. Yeah, if you're expecting like illusions, you can make a wisdom save.
All right. 3. It's failed.
Okay. Yeah.
I think I approach and say, "Ma'am, we're in search of the master wizard here. Do you happen to know?"
Are you talking to the tree?
No, I'm talking to the woman there.
There's no woman there, you fool.
I turn back. Does she react?
You're too far away. Like if you're calling out to her from a distance, yeah, she's just like brushing her hair. She didn't seem to hear you.
What do you mean? I'm staring. What do you see at the base of the tree?
Just a tree. There's nothing there. What do you see, Ziva?
What did Berg see?
I saw same. Was it the same kind of woman? It was a woman in black, like veil, black hair tied up in a bun. Yeah, and black robes and cloak.
I like kind of have moved behind Berg,
mm-hmm.
and I look up at Ramus, and I'm just like, "There's a wyvern under the tree."
Oh, son of a bitch!
Is this the start of a riddle?
No.
No, it's the
There's a woman staring at me.
I said woman. I said wyvern. Wyvern.
I see a woman.
Okay, everyone stop.
Wyvern.
Everyone stop. When I was a kid, I always asked my dad what he did inside the wizard's towers. And he said that there was always bullshit happening, but the fastest way to cut through the bullshit was to insult the wizard's power. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. And I turn and just shout at the top of my lungs.
Wait. Let me take a step back. Hold on.
I shout at the top of my lungs. Master Wizard, please, we wish to talk with you, not play in your silly games. Show yourself.
Berg, you hear a woman's voice. You hear it in your. You can feel her breath on your ear. Like you can smell the oil of her skin suddenly. Like she's like as close as possible to you, but she's not actually there. You hear a whisper in your ear. Come closer.
I think at that, Berg's like,
Yeah, and like you get like a full body like shiver at the feeling of like her breath on your ear.
No.
What? Berg. Wizard, please. We need your help.
Woman's voice just said, "Come closer." I can smell her perfume.
You feel the warm feeling of like soft fingertips on your cheek, Berg.
I don't like this. No more games.
Ramus, help Berg, please.
I've been trying to do that for 10 years now. It's not.
Ramus, help Berg, please.
I'm not a miracle worker, despite
Adam,
my profession. All right.
does anything else continue to happen with that?
No. She just like you feel that touch on your face.
I think Berg's just like, like kind of losing it a little bit. And then he's like,
We have been your traps, ma'am. Nothing's happening.
I'm a man of faith, not a man of magic. I'm not much help here.
I'm trying to think about how extreme I want to be at this point. For all intents and purposes, it seems like this woman's actually there in front of us.
She hasn't responded to anything that you've done.
Who's probably just like lulled into the.
I think Berg might have thought that it was real if he didn't hear that everyone else was seeing different stuff, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So he's just kind of annoyed right now.
To continue going up, do we have to go through the center of this room, or can we just continue going up?
Well, when you turn to look at the stairs, they seem to have disappeared along with the walls. You turn and look, and you can just see like a vast savanna. There's some hills somewhere off in the distance.
We're in a holodeck, guys.
I turn to Ramus and say, Ramus, how do we stop? How do we get this to stop? Surely you know or
and
understand
you
this.
all see this now that you're standing in this strange plane and not on the floor of a tower at all.
Wizard towers are basically their own little playground where they go and they do their little spells and they have their little fun with people. She's probably just toying with us. We got to play along.
We don't have time for this.
Time doesn't move here like it does out there. We have all the time in the world.
Berg just looks at him like, how do you know that?
Ziva, do you
I've
still
read
see
many
this?
books, you dumbass.
Ziva, do you
I'm a
still see
learned man.
this creature in front of us? Oh,
That-
you're muted.
I've drawn my my sword. I'm like holding it in my hand, like at the ready.
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
like-
yes, is a wyvern.
Yeah, I turn around and see that as I'm in mid-sentence. Christ. Okay.
Let's go up and see what it wants. It obviously wants to play with us.
Okay. If that's
How
what you
to
think's
go
best.
up? There
I
are
don't.
no
I just see a
stairs.
tree, but you guys can talk to whatever you
Wait,
see.
she's under this tree that's like just like straight ahead of you. You just have to walk across the plane. There is this like little stream between you, so you'd have to walk through that. But yeah,
Fine.
All right.
Berg walks over. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I go up too.
Keeps a couple paces, though. from.
Okay. The stream is too it's too wide to jump over. So you have to walk through, but it's not deep. You can see that in the water, like the water is clear. You can see there's little stones on the bottom of the stream. Maybe you can see a couple of little silver like fish kind of swimming around in it.
Is it not deep for a human, or is it not deep?
It'll be like knee deep for them and like waist deep for you. But it's a very calm stream. It's not like rushing or anything.
All right. Yeah, we're walking through.
It's startlingly cold, the water. Like you jump a little. Not like freezing your legs off cold, but it's like, yeah, colder than you expected given how hot it is in the room or on the plains.
I don't want to go over.
What's that?
I want Berg to throw me over because I don't want to go in.
You want Berg to carry you?
Or toss me, whatever. Yeah.
I would. I mean, if you ask Berg, yeah, he could be like this, like holding you up as.
Yeah, you're big. You're big. She's small. It's no problem.
He's like 7'1", so.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you cross the group of you cross the river, and I think that once you've crossed the river, you all see the same thing under the tree. There's a girl. The things that are still true of her. She has long black hair. She's brushing it with she's got a comb. So she's combing it, and you can see the back of her neck. She's like deep olive skin. She's wearing a simple like peasant's kind of frock made out of just like plain like linen. But she has a black veil covering from her nose down. You can't see her eyes because she has her head turned away from you. But now all of a sudden she's just this like unassuming like peasant girl.
We all see this, so it's changed.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So I put my sword away, and then I kind of tug on Enoch's sleeve. And I'm just like,
what is it?
that's Inanna.
How do you know this?
Duroc described her to me.
That's your Nana?
Inanna, the name of the wizard. Shit. Start.
Oh, the wizard lady. Okay, sorry.
Ma'am? Hello?
Yeah, and so she like slows the brushing her and stops, and she sets the comb down on a stone that's next to her, and she picks up a long like piece of black thread and like weaves it under her hair, pulls her hair up and like ties it with a simple like knot to hold it out of the way. And then she turns to look at you. You're maybe like 30 feet from her. But you all are, I think, immediately like kind of taken aback by how bright her eyes are. She has these like bright green eyes. And she just turns and like kind of like looks at the group of you.
Are you the wizard of this tower, ma'am?
She gestures in front of her and she says, "Come and sit."
I kind of slowly turn and see how Ramus and the rest of the group is reacting. Specifically Ramus, though.
Berg, I think just
No more games.
Could you conjure some chairs at least?
Well, I mean, I think are you just saying this like standing behind her, or are you walking up as you're talking?
walking up.
Okay, so you didn't notice it, or it's doing that thing where it just like suddenly is there because it is. You see lying in front of her like a picnic essentially. There's a bunch of cushions kind of laid out on a blanket. There are like candied figs and like a roast pheasant, and there's a bunch of like food kind of like laid out in front of her. And there's in the center of the little like mess of blankets, there's a hookah. It's made out of brass and glass. And it's sitting in the middle of the circle of cushions.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I guess Berg walks up and sits.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We all sit down.
Okay, so
What's
maybe
the
that's
alternative.
yeah, maybe that's where we take a break as you walk up to sit down with the girl that might be Inanna. We fade out to break.
Might be. Ooh, find out after the
Never
break.
know.
Right. We'll see you in about 3 to 5 minutes here for part 3. We'll be right back.